guys, welcome back to the Terror Zone. Hey, Terror Zone? I thought this was Yakko's Reviews. We're doing a little bit of a crossover. The people have voted. They want to see a crossover of us. Oh, how interesting. Hello, everyone. Today, we are going to look at the real true story of Fantastic Mr. Fox. The most interesting and most fantastic characters of all time. And now you, Yakko. Well, we were going to review the movie, you know? Yes, but we have to look at the book for inspiration, because the book brings up some very good, interesting details. Now, it is important to know that Amanda has seen this movie before. Yes, she has seen this movie before. Yes, we have seen this movie before. And it's been a while since she's seen it, so we don't really know exactly in terms of story of what happens. But in terms of her review, she loved it. She thinks it's like, like a Looney Tunes movie. Like, it's very funny, it's cute, it's like a cartoon where he outsmarts people. It's all that kind of stuff. All that kind of jazz. So, with that in mind, she knows some of the story elements. She knows that the son has some kind of deal with Mr. Fox in this. So, to begin with, she already has seen this movie. Just two. But she was trying to compare the movie to the book. Thank you. Okay, good day. Alright, so without further ado, let's compare the movie to the book. And at the end, we will do a conscious review of how it differs and if you should watch it or not. How about I go through chapter by chapter, you guys can cut in every time. Okay. Here we go. The actual book of Fantastic Mr. Fox. The characters. One thing to note about the characters in the story is that there's a few elements and a few characters switched. First, we have the Fantastic Mr. Fox, of course, the main character of the story. We have his wife, his kids. Now, we differentiate. In the movie, we only see one son, which is Ash. We don't see anyone else other than them. So, it's clear that in this book, he has more than one children in this. Which means he has more than one child in this. But there is one fox that dominates the book here, which is the oldest. I'm going to assume that that's Ash, that they're using as a preference right there. So, in all honesty, much as they mention a lot that Mr. Fox has a lot of kids in this, he only refers to one kid throughout the entire movie that he works with. The rest of them are way too young to do anything else, unfortunately. So, we have his kids who are only limited. And then we have Badger, who is like his best friend in here, instead of the possum character, which we see in the movie. But I will differentiate from those as we go along throughout the story. There is also the hunters, who stay very similar to the same thing. There's Boggs, Bean, and I forgot the last one's name. You'll find out in the book, I'm assuming. Anyway, there's those three hunters. Pretty much all of them are accurate to the book. Most of them are pretty much the same. Except for the one farmer guy who seems to have a son in the movie, but I don't know if he has a son in the book here. They don't really mention it all too much. Without further ado, let's get into the book. A Fantastic Mr. Fox by Roald Dahl, compared to the movie. Now, if you don't know the movie, it is made by an interesting studio. It is stop motion. And they have done another movie previously. They've done The Isle of Dogs, which was their last title before this one. Personally, I like Fantastic Mr. Fox better. The Isle of Dogs was not really my favorite movie. I mean, it was okay, but a lot of it had to be desired. So, without further ado, let's look at the book here. Let's look at the chapters real quick, just to differentiate of what each part happens. There is one called The Three Hunt Farmers, Mr. Fox, The Shooting, The Terrible Shovels, The Terrible Terrors, The Race. We'll Never Let Him Go. The foxes begin to serve. Mr. Fox has a plan. Boggin's Chicken Home #1. A surprise for Miss Fox. Badger. Bruce's Giant Storehouse. Badger has doubts. Bean's Secret Cider Cellar. The Woman. The Great Feast. Still waiting. Okay, so we're going to go page by page here about each of the chapters and talk about them piece by piece. Now, I should mention there's some weird timelining here, but I will explain that throughout the entire book as we go along, because it looks like the wife does find out about what's going on with Mr. Fox in some way. So I guess we'll look looking into that as well. Now, I'm going to read a little bit of this and tell you what this chapter entails, like I did for Mary Poppins. Chapter 1. The Three Farmers. Down the valley there were 3 farmers. The owners of these farmers had done well. They were rich men. They were also nasty men. All 3 of them. Okay, so this chapter tells us a story of the 3 farmers, which is Bounce, and Bean. All of these farmers right here, this whole chapter is about them and who they are as people. So this part is mostly accurate because like one part where he talks about every single one of them in the story. So throughout the movie, you see them being told. So right here, this chapter is all very accurate to the book. So, moving on. Mr. Fox. On the hill above the valley, there was a wood. In the wood, there was a huge fox. Under the tree, there was a hole. In the hole lived Mr. Fox and Mrs. Fox, and their 4 small foxes. See? They have 4 foxes instead of 1. But she does later get pregnant in the last minute of the movie where she gets another fox. So there could be more in addition to that. Every evening, as soon as it got dark, Mr. Fox would say, Miss Fox, well, my darling, what shall it this time? Plum chicken from Boggs? Yeah, so throughout the story here, he sneaks around getting different foods from different farmers, one at a time. This we'll see later on that that's not the case here. So yeah, this is normal lifestyle for Mr. Fox. Just like the book, he was underneath the tree. I think he makes a big fuss in the book that he wants to live in a better house, but that's no indication here in the book. Instead, he just lives in the house under the tree. He doesn't really mind living as a wild animal. So there's no indication that he moved or anything. Yeah. He just stays in that one spot under the tree, pretty much. Moving on, though. This is like all his tricks and stuff. It's about like how good he is at it. But Possum's not, his friend Possum's not in this. It's good to note that in the beginning of the movie, there are parts where you do see his schemes happening, but none of these actual scenes actually happen in the book. There's brief mention of what Mr. Fox can do and what he does, but none of these scenes in the beginning of the movie ever happens. Him going with his wife, almost getting captured, her being pregnant, Doesn't happen. Him sneaking around because liking blueberries, all that whole part, not in the book either. Yeah. Again, they briefly mention some of the things he can do, so you're allowed to extend upon the movie as much as you can. So, I could say that most of the movie is accurate, just that they expand upon the storytelling a little bit. Moving on, though. Chapter 3, The Shooting. Now, I'm going to move around a little bit to the part where the chapter is all about here. Dang and blast, said Boggs. We shoot tonight. We should have let them fly moments. Okay, this is the part where they decide to go down the hole. So, this is the part where things get to be similar to the book. Now, it's also to note that there's no Kristofferson in this, too. He is a cousin of Fantastic Mr. Fox, in case you don't know him, the character in the movie. Kristofferson is only a character to, differentiate from Ash. And unfortunately, he is not in this book. Unfortunately. He is not a character. And so are not the other animals that are from school, from Ash. None of these characters are in the movie, unfortunately. Yeah. Sadly, none of these characters show up in the movie, unfortunately. So, all we can say is, pretty much it's only the kids, Pastor Fox, Mrs. Fox, a few other characters that come in later on, and that's pretty much it. I can't really tell you if there's any more, but that's pretty much it. Yeah. Also, there's also the difference from the wife, too, and her attitude towards Mr. Fox. In the movie, she is a bit aware of how fantastic she is, but at the same time, she wants a stable home, she wants to have kids, she wants to have a stable life, away from all the hunters and farmers. It's just too dangerous these days. But in this book, instead of her doing that, she trusts Mr. Fox and believes that he is fantastic no matter what. It shows this to the kids a lot. We don't know what happened in their past, but we believe that this happens to be true, that he's a fantastic Mr. Fox no matter what the case is. So, with that in mind, while it is a little bit the same thing in this movie, it's just a little extended upon a bit. With that in mind. But her attitude's a little different here than it is than in the movie. So in this book, this is where they start digging, which is pretty much accurate to the movie, pretty much. So we're going to move on from here. Terrible Terrors. So here throughout the entire book, they are pretty much like getting food from one place to the other. Like the farmers, the cider with the drinks, getting drunk. One part where the woman almost sees them. That's all in the movie too. Pretty much everything is in this movie, only it's expanded upon. Yeah, I'm gonna skip around and get to the parts where things get a little different. I'm gonna skip around a little bit here. I think we're gonna skip to let him go. And we're gonna okay, so this is the part where they dig a lot of holes and they get to a very deeper hole to reach him. So I'm gonna read this little part right here to see where we are. At 6 o'clock in the evening, Bean switched off the meter of his temper and climbed down from the fence seat. Bounced the same. Both men had enough. They were tired and shift and driving of the terrors all day. They were also hungry. So this is the part where I won't let them go. Yeah. Okay, so this is not the part where Justin gets kidnapped. No. Instead, this is the part where they just wait underneath the hole and dig up. So we're going to skip that part. This is him starting to serve the dinner, the field. Okay. You know the plan that he has. Okay, chapter 11. A surprise for Mrs. Fox. The small fox ran back along the tunnel as fast as he could, carrying the 3 plump hens he was expecting with joy. Just wait, he kept thinking. Just wait till Mommy sees these. He had a long way to run, but never stopped once the way, and he came blasting in upon Miss Fox. Mommy, he cried, out of breath. Look, Mommy, look. Wake up and see what we bought you. Okay, so instead of her finding out that he's been sneaking food, in this book, Mr. Fox gives Mrs. Fox food as a gift. And obviously the child here, the oldest child, Ash here, is pretty excited. Like I said, he's more involved in the book than he is in the movie. Yeah, for more story elements. Yeah, more story elements. Exactly right, Yakko. So, let's just say, Ash is not really referred by name here, but let's just say I'm going to assume that he's the oldest fox of the entire group here. Yeah. So instead of that, that's what we have here. Badger. Okay, let's see what Badger's role is like here. Mr. and 3... Okay. Further in. Yeah, as you can see, Badger's Yeah. Badger's like the friend of Fox in this movie. Unlike the movie where instead he has a possum friend. In the book, Badger is his friend. In the book, he is more strict. He is in the movie, though, but he's way more strict and more of a house owner. Yeah, I don't know why they changed the change, but who knows? Yeah, exactly my point. There you go. So look at the chapters real quick. Okay, so most of everything else is the same. So we're just going to move on and go to the last part of the book here. Oh, okay. So, unlike the movie, we see them looking through the sewer. That doesn't happen in this book. Instead, as a climax, they just search for digging. The farmers never find out that they stole, well, the farm. They never knew any of this. So they're just waiting and waiting and waiting in this particular book. Mr. Fox is way more sneakier in this book than he is in the movie, unfortunately. They never find out what they actually did in the movie. Instead, in the movie, they're still waiting and waiting until it rains, and they're still waiting and waiting. Unlike the movie, where it ends with them waiting by a sewer, and then they're still eating. So, as you can see, Mr. Fox mostly stays accurate to the movie. The only thing the book and the movie differentiate from each other is the fact that it's way more extended upon. The movie extends the truth. It brings out more characters, more elements, more storytelling, and more extension upon the humor a bit. So, with all that in mind, this is all pretty much accurate, just that there's a few changes here and there to the story. So, what do you guys think, compared to the book to the movie? I think I like both. Me too. I mean, it's nice to compare the book and the movie, but it's so great that the movie stayed traditionally to the whole thing. Yes. Now, I don't think that there's a theme song in here, but I would imagine that, in case you guys don't know, there's a song that plays throughout the entire movie about Boggs, Bounce, and Bean. It's a very catchy tune, too. Yeah, it's in my head. Yeah, it's in your head right now. But anyway, that whole theme song is not in the book, unfortunately, I don't think. But I think it's something that Roald would definitely write as a movie, as a song, for sure. He definitely has wrote different songs within his books before. So it's not out of the norm that he might have written that song at one point or another. So without any of that happening, I would assume that it's in the book somewhere. If not, you can tell me in the comments below if it is. But I'd say that song is really catchy, and I would imagine that Roald Dahl would have written this song just for the book. And I think it's a really good song. I really recommend you go listen to it right now. It's just that good. It's very horrifying too, very haunting, very how to put it, like very eerie. Yeah, very eerie, which I like. Very eerie music. Okay, so what do you guys think of this movie? Do you give it a 10 out of 10? Give it a 10 out of 10. It's really an awesome movie and really good comedy. It's definitely worth your time to watch. And the book is really good too, if you want to pick it up. Just note that the movie extends upon the book a bit more than the movie does, the book itself. The book is more like more of a blueprint for the movie, as far as we're concerned. Yeah, but it mostly keeps all the elements in there. Even the name of the chapters are in the movie, which is pretty cool. I like that. I like when movies differentiate from the book a lot. I like that a lot too. So, without that in mind, it's really that great. So, good night, everybody. Yeah, if you guys like me reviewing Terror Zone and comparing movies to the books, tell in the comments below. Maybe I can do more of these soon. I can do Matilda. I can do Willy Wonka, Charlie Chocolate Factory. Like, I can do any of these books. It's just that I want to focus on the Disney ones for now. But if you want to recommend any more Roald Dahl books for me, go right ahead and do so. I wouldn't mind at all. Yeah, and we will definitely recommend some more for you soon, as well as movies goes a little long as well. And keep on voting on that poll right there of yours. It's either Bridge to Terabithia, The Rocketeer, or Lemonade Mouth. We'll have to see what happens, guys. But please keep voting, because you just never know when yours is going to end up on there eventually. So, your vote really matters in here. So, we'll see you next time, and hopefully we will get to more reviews soon. And get this done really quickly, because we have to really get into the Halloween season very soon. Yeah, this is only the start of fall right here, so get ready very soon. And we'll see you back on the Terror Zone and Yakko's Reviews. Bye!